Good afternoon, Ramki sir.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you after so long.
Nice. Thank you for coming over to our Amchi Chennai, Ingal Chennai, Singara
Yes.
Chennai.
Thank you. So, I want you to share something what would be relevant for the new entrepreneurs.
About?
Anything. Your life experiences, whatsoever comes to your mind.
Well, I think life has been exciting because we are living close to the campus, IIT Madras, where I studied. So if you roll back from that time or even further to school, as in my mind as it rolls out, I remember the very nice high points, we can call it, or maybe even one or two low points. Though but I don't see low points because I'm a positive guy. So high points and anything that evolved. One of that in that story is you. You figure, so you come into the picture somewhere along that. Finally, I was of course 40 years in Delhi, 6 years in Pune, 3 years in Hyderabad. I'm now here in Chennai last 6 months. So I see now how the attitude, particularly professional outlook, and with respect to how you map it on into the national mood. That I find has changed. There has been a happy, bullish mood. You know, we all have to talk about digital India today, earlier something else. So from the, of course, entrepreneurial world is what it is today. So I feel definitely something to keep you exciting all the time, right?
Awesome. I've got a question for you. You were associated with getting internet to India, creating the first generation of internet. So from there to today, when we're talking about Web 3 and IoT and Industry 4.0, what has been your realization and what would you suggest for the next generation?
Actually, it's a very good question because uh, we were a bit of a outsider perspective earlier, in the sense something was invented somewhere else. We were observing it, we aspired towards it, we were gaga goo goo over it, and we were seeing how to copy it or how to make use of it, more like a passive to active users. Whereas now we want to move from a participant to a leader. That is the transition clearly happening. Since you mentioned about, I am a active member in the IPV, which is the early stage startup funding outfit, one of the top 3. So every Wednesday and Thursday, Saturday, I listen to these entrepreneurs who are coming for funding. Initially founder speech, then second round come for investor speech. So I see a plethora of ideas coming into picture and things of that kind. I think the hunger we can do is really high. Even this so-called entrepreneurship, I still remember the early days of Thai formation in Silicon Valley. We used to sing, wow, Thai. Because one of the very early products we used in building ERNet, which is our avatar of India's first internet. Before even the name internet came in US safe to the what we were doing ARPANET or NSFNet. And same thing before there was any, this is before commercial internet. Commercial internet was 92, 93. So we had started in 86.
Wow.
So we were really pioneers. So at that time, one of the products we ordered was the interconnecting for local area network, a product called Exelon. Exelon founder was an Indian, and he was also a Thai member. So why I'm mentioning it in a very summary is, today if you take a Web 3.0, we talk about what is Web 3.0 in a very evolving current. What does Meta do? What did Meta doing last year, this year, currently, etc. But still, we must remain humble enough because there is a gap between China and India. There is a gap between US and India, not in any fundamental sense. But this humility always pushes you to reach greater heights. We have huge things to boast about. Of course, you don't have to talk about other than even the fintech and digital payments. Whereas e-commerce, we have sort of user and numbers, internet numbers, mobile numbers, we are all there. But all in all, India's story is still evolving and something to be very proud of. Not by as told by us. Everybody believes it. They believe in the India story.
One more question I have is that we grew up in a world which was brick and mortar. Today, business has really gone digital. And the business transformation, I think, is the call of the day. What would be your 2 cents for it?
Actually, I want to demystify to listeners. See, here is an organization. Here is a room which is called a computer room or what do you call IT group, you can call it. Then partly some of it went outside to outsourcing, right? And still there was always a counterpart team, some team here, IT team was here. So there was an IT team, then the rest are all a normal government, normal enterprise. Normal enterprise means if they are making vegetable products or industrial products or whatever products or even services. So there was a mainstream organization doing its mainstream business and there was an IT which is supporting it. Now thanks to digital today, they are all like this. If it is this supply chain, they are there, plugged into this. Their HR, they are plugged into it. Their marketing and sales, they are plugged into it. They are, of course. So, this business of what started with the ERP, etc., and gone into this business of digitalization.
Tightly coupled.
Earlier it was in the back end. Computerization was in the back end, like a back end. Now it has moved into the front end also. And then it has now become the ecosystem factor. Right? My computer, I'm a user, has a relationship to this, all virtual. So this business of what you just now explained as digitalization, what really has happened is that thread does become connected, but obviously it will become more and more sophisticated, like AR, VR, Meta, all those things will change the complexion, the way you actually feel as if you are seeing the avatar, all the stuff you can see. Then there is something called sentiment analysis and all as it is there, but you say, does he like my product? Things of that kind. So the data is the big stuff. So I think there is nothing to be bamboozled about it. What you call invented or conceived of earlier in places like Google or places like anywhere else. Now more and more, see, the big thing was interplay between the real world and the business needs and the technology, right? And at scale, because that's make it viable, etc., etc. So that interplay is beginning to happen. Of course, there are supporting actors, the government is one supporting actor, important. So, that is capital, financing, not just banking. Bank people are very conservative. Venture capital financing. So this, this one is happening now here also slowly and steadily. Only thing what will do, in my opinion, steady state is we are like one of the players of the global ecosystem in the top layer. The top layer means it's a proud top 2, top 3, top 5 collaborating, helping each other or competing.
Fantastic. Now, one last question. You are an IIT Madras alumni, and right now We are at the IIT Research Center, rather IIT Alumni Center. So you've seen this institution evolve, and today you're associated with this institution in a different avatar. What do you think has been the contribution of not only IIT Madras but IITs as such to India and to the India growth story?
IIT system is a big brand name. It's a big brand name. We may not be figuring in the top 500 as much or top 200 or top 100 as much in the global university system. As a brand name, we are clearly established ourselves. Something very right about it and very fact. See, India historically said we are not good at maintaining things. We build institutions, but we are not good at maintaining things. But this is a classical proof. Now, all IITs have completed a golden jubilee. So we are in the 50 to 60, 65, 70 age history of first batch of IITs. And meanwhile, 13 more or almost 15 more have come. Original 6 plus 15, 22, 23 are there now. So I think, and then of course we're now very much talking about 22, 23 is the year we're talking about foreign campuses, IITs abroad, going abroad. So I think big success. This is a representative of one of the India's big success thing, and this is also a foundational success because these guys become leaders, right? These guys become leaders. They set up new generation industries. They are change agents, and they go to all kinds of professions. One of them is a much guru. Another guy is very different. So it's not that engineering excellence only. This is not only business excellence. This is a societal leadership they go to. Not only leaders, they go to all places. IAS top IITs are there, IITians are figuring in that. And it's not just IIT. Just IIT is figuring in that leadership role. The next layer, next layer, next layer. I think it's all representative of rising India.
Thank you for your time. Any words for me?
For you?
Yeah.
I think you started or you embarked for some time now on a journey of a cheerleader for MSMEs and startups and things of that kind. So I think you should go from strength to strength on this because it's too well known that MSMEs are the strength of the nation. And they are also very digitalized, they are getting digitalized fast in a number of ways. So even if you have to take MSME and digitalization as a story for 25% of the time, that itself is you have a big charter in front of you. My best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.